Yes, class, I welcome you to our second part of Northwest September paper revision, paper 2 geography. I'm sure that I gave you paper 1, so let's just get done. We just gonna need to go through paper 2 right now. Don't forget this is Northwest Provincial Government paper, September 2024. November 2024 exam readiness. Let's do it now. I'm going just to quickly present and answer the questions that are here fast, and I don't want to waste your time. As you can see, I have already marked the most important items on the paper there. It's paper 2, it's September 2024, and right now I'm saying let's get ready for November. It is not yet late. Let's connect and get this thing done. Without wasting time, I'm just gonna go to the questions very fast. I'm just go to the questions. It's section A, question 1, rural and urban settlements. Choose the correct term or concept from column B that matches the picture in column A. Write only Y or Z next to the question number in the answer book, e.g., that is what is given here, e.g., what is given there. So question Y, we are saying, what is this settlement? What is this picture matching? We are saying, uh, choose the correct term or concept from B that matches the picture in column A. So what is this picture? What is it showing? So we are having a settlement there that is built on that side. So what we are saying is this is a what? A dry point settlement, because you can see the houses are not built around the river, but they are built far from the river there. So our answer is what? Is Z. And then next question. This is a settlement pattern also that is shown. What is there is a bridge there, and then there is a river. 1.2.1, 1.1.2. What is the answer there? We are saying it is not linear defense, but it is just a linear fold settlement, which is Z also. I'm saying if you can look there, it's not linear defense, because linear defense there has nothing to do with defense in this regard, but it's just a settlement that is built along a river, and then as you can see there, that is a linear fold. Question next, 1.3, 1.1.3, defensive settlement, defensive settlement, which is what? This is a defensive settlement. From our geography understanding, we are sure that a settlement that is built in a circular or a round settlement was built, a circular settlement was built for defensive purposes. So it is a defensive settlement, which is why in this case, number 1.4, this is there are various roads that are meeting at a point there, forming a star. So what is this form of settlement? Number 1.1.4, it is what? It is a star-shaped pattern. It's a star-shaped pattern that we can agree. As you can see, the various roads that are converging to at a point, and then we have got our settlements also there. So it's a star-shaped. 1.1.5, this has to do with microclimate, the sun here, and then the orientation of the sun to the buildings, which we call aspect. So I'm sure that you remember microclimate in regards to what? To aspect, the direction to which the slope faces. So this one, it is what? These houses are located in what? They are located in the southern hemisphere. I'm sure that you remember that the north facing slopes receive the what? The direct sunlight. So it is what? It is why, which is the southern hemisphere in regard to this. Just look forward. I'm sure that there is also some work that I've already answered with regard to aspect on the on our channel there. Just follow it and check this. There is a question on microclimate that is also answered there. Just connect and check what is there. Then you can get more detail with regard to microclimate. Number 6, there is a commercial cattle farming. They are housing and variety of vegetables. What type of farming is this one? Number 1.1.6, it is what? It is subsistence farming, which we are saying the farmer is doing, is mixing cattle and this farming where he is just doing it for what? For his family. So it is subsistence farming, which is actually practiced for family purposes. 1.1.7, what is this? Man-made feature or physical natural feature. Number 7, which is what you can see there. This is a man-made feature. You can see the tar, the road there, and then this is a man-made feature, which is what? Which is why. And then number 8, this is, there is a settlement pattern that is shown also here. What type of settlement pattern is this? Number 8, we are saying this is what? It is a nucleated pattern. This is a nucleated pattern, which is what? Which is Z, number 8. Next question. Choose one term or concept for each of the following descriptions provided. Write only the term concept to the question number. Then e.g. as it is shown there. So write only the term. So for revision purposes, without wasting our time, now I will be just marking the correct answer. So therefore, we don't waste what? We don't waste time. So number 1.1.2.1, a dash that develops due to occurrence of one main physical resource. It is what? What is that? It is a specialized town. A specialized town that develops due to the occurrence of one physical feature, which is what? Specialized town, which is the correct answer there. A dash develops at major transport intersections. What is that type of town? What is it? It is called what? A junction town develops at major transport intersection. A junction town develops at major transport intersections, where goods and services are transferred from one mode of transport to another. What is it? Break of bulk or junk town? What is it? Where goods are transferred from one mode of transport to another. It is called what? Break of bulk. Break of bulk. Break of bulk. It's a break of bulk service there. Number 8, number 1.2.4, 1.2.4, a dash provides goods and services to surrounding rural areas. What is it? What is it that provides goods and services to surrounding rural areas? It is a what? A central town. It is a central place towns or central place towns provides goods and services to surrounding. It's a central place towns. Central place towns provide goods and services to surrounding rural towns. I'm sure that you know a central place. It is a service center that provides goods and services to its surrounding. Number 5, a natural attraction leads to the development of dash. A natural attraction leads to development of what? Resort towns. I'm sure we understand. A resort town develops as a result of attraction, as a result of natural attraction. Worcester dash is located in a mountain pass. It is what? Worcester. It is Worcester. A gap town is located in a mountain pass. It's a gap town that is located in a mountain pass. Number 7, a dash is mainly concerned with manufacturing. Number 7, an industrial town is mainly concerned with what? With manufacturing. An industrial town is mainly concerned with what? Industrial town is mainly concerned with manufacturing. So I'm sure that we are getting these as correct as they are. The extract of land reform in South Africa is failing. Ignoring the realities of rural life plays a part. There is a widespread agreement that land reform in South Africa has failed to deliver the changes Racially based dislocation and land dispossession were central features of colonial quest and apartheid rule. To redress this, in 1994, the newly elected African National Congress, ANC, set a target of redistributing 30% of the country's white-owned agricultural land to black people. Persistently failing to come close to this goal, the government now hopes to reach it to show that South Africa's land reform program is misguided. It is designed for a socio-economic context that doesn't exist. It ignores three important factors. Land has multiple uses other than production. Small rural farmers aren't purely economic actors who are self-reliant. Family and community obligations create financial pressures that can force small rural farmers to stop production and fall into poverty. Therefore, questions are there. What is land reform? What is land reform? Define land reform. Land reform is a process of redressing the injustices of it is a process of redressing the injustices of displacement and forced removal that took place during apartheid. So I can quickly just say that it is a process. Land reform is a process. Uh, it is a process. It is a process of redressing the injustices, a process of redressing the injustices, redressing the injustices of displacement and forced removal, displacement and forced removal, the forced removal of what that took place during apartheid, forced removal that took place during apartheid. That is land reform. It is a process of redressing the injustices of displacement and forced removal that took place during apartheid, where people were moved from their land, where land was taken from them, or land uh, was capsized, was actually forced, was taken by force from the majority of black people. So in this regard, we are saying it is redressing the injustices of that forced removal of people which were taking place during apartheid. 43 important factors from the extract that South Africa's land reform program is ignored. What shows that the South African land reform is ignored? Uh, three important factors that from the extract that South Africa's land reform program is ignored. One, we are saying land has multiple uses other than production. One, we are saying also that small rural farmers aren't pure economic actors who are self-reliant. Small rural farmers, small rural farmers, the small rural farmers are not purely economic actors, are not purely economic actors. They are not purely economic actors who are self-reliant. So this is also a point of concern that the small farmers are not purely economic actors. Therefore, it shows that there is no seriousness in that regard to what else can be also said there? Families and communities obligation create financial pressure that force small rural farmers to stop production and fall into poverty. Uh, family and community, the families and community, they also community obligations, family and community obligations, the family and community obligations, they do also create financial pressure. They create financial pressure. They create financial pressure that can force small rural farmers to stop farming. That stop small farmers, from farming. That can stop small farmers from what from production. And also we can as well talk about land has also many other multiple uses other than the production alone. So these are also other points that we can end into this regard. Number 1.1.3, provide one reason why land reform is necessary in South Africa. Why land reform is necessary in South Africa? It is why should we talk about land reform? 1.1.3, importance of land reform. Importance of what? Of land reform, of land reform. That is 1.3.3. One, it is important because it promotes economic growth of those who were disadvantaged. One, it promotes economic growth to those who were disadvantaged. It promotes economic growth to those who were disadvantaged. It also creates self-sufficient farmers. It helps to create a self-sufficient farmers. We can as well say that it also helps to improve food production from previously marginalized sectors. Improves food production from previously marginalized sectors. The sectors which were previously marginalized, they can also improve what food production. It can also it helps to bring about national reconciliation. It also promote national reconciliation. It helps to promote national reconciliation, as well as other points that we can talk about. It also helps to uh, redress the past injustices, promote redressing of past injustices. So there are quite a lot of many other points that we can give in regard to this one to say why is land reform important. It is actually a form. It actually shows oneness. Again, I say that it also nullifies the dominance of apartheid regime over the unfair distribution of land, which was also something that was not right. And then also it also improves or help people to have access to land, as well as alleviation of poverty to communities and families is also another advantage of land reform that we can give. Explain two challenges associated with land reform that cause the government not to achieve their goals. Challenges of land reform 1.1.3.4. Challenges of land reform to government. Challenges of land reform to government. What are the challenges of land reform to government? These it is very costly process anyway. The process is very costly. It is a very costly process. It is a very expensive process to undertake. It is a very expensive process. That is one point why land reform is what is a challenge to the government. It also takes time to resolve disputes. So we can say it is time consuming, takes time to resolve disputes. That can also be a problem which we can give in this regard. And then there is also lack of training and support for new owners. There is lack of training and support for new owners. New owners, they don't have the necessary skills to use the land effectively. There is also sometimes a disagreement between government and traditional leaders, which also takes which also gives a challenge. Also, there are disagreements between government and traditional leaders. The traditional leaders has got their own views, and government has got its own agenda. Hence, there is also some problems or a challenge in that respect, which makes it a problem in terms of this program of land reform. That is also a problem that we can also lead, which we can also talk about there. There is also another challenge that we can state as to say the willing seller buyer causes delays in negotiation of pricing. Willing willing buyer, willing seller, it also causes challenges in terms of what? In terms of negotiation of pricing of the land, which are also other challenges that we can give in that regard. Explain two methods that the government can put in place to assist the people that have been relocated due to land reform. How do government assist government support to land? One point that is question 1.3.5 government support. Government support. What can what can government do? Government support. What is it the government can do? It can also help by what? By training and development in modern farming methods. That is mentorship, provision of mentorship to new farmers, to new owners of the land. That is actually like trainings that must be given, training and development that we can give them. It can also create market areas for trading. Create marketplaces, market areas for trading. There are also other important advantages that we can talk about. Create market areas for trading That's quite a important advantage. I mean, support. We can as well uh, maybe say that the government also might also provide monitoring and evaluation process, provision of monitoring and evaluation of allocation of resources, monitoring and evaluation on resource allocation. That would also ensure that resources are effectively used on resource allocation. This can help in terms of ensuring that resources are not being uh, they are not being they are not being stolen or they are not being misdirected. They can also help by revising land reform policies also. There can also be other advantages such as in terms of revising the land reform the land reform policies. There are certain policies which were just developed there which might not suit of now. So the government may also provide a review into these land reform policies. And then maybe we can as well talk about inclusion of local communities to establish what needs inclusion of local communities, inclusion of local communities to establish the community, the community needs through consultation, to establish community needs through consultation. So this can also help in regards to that. Government may also provide such forms of support as like community inclusion in order to have a participative process that can enable the various community individuals to understand what is happening, as well as the government would as well understand and take into consideration the specific needs that the communities are in need of. This diagram below shows, I mean, it is based on urban sprawl. It is based on urban sprawl, this diagram here. So define the term urban sprawl. What is urban sprawl? So as you can see from the diagram there, I'm sure you can actually see there is, we have got A there, and then otherwise, this is just showing the extension or the expansion of the urban area. So what are we saying? Urban sprawl, it is actually uncontrolled growth of cities, is uncontrolled growth of cities. That's what you call urban sprawl. Uncontrolled growth of cities is what you call urban sprawl. Identify the land use areas A and B respectively. What is land use? What is the land use taking place at A and B? At A, I'm sure that we can see. However, the photograph might look somehow, but as you can see, there are quite a lot of buildings there which are also vertically expanded, which can also help you to know as a geography student. Some of these questions you need to relate and be able to do the application. So A, it is just A can show, A can be able, we can confirm to say A can be a CBD. A can show that this is our C, it's our CBD, and then B, we can see that there is nothing that is taking place there. It looks like it's an agricultural land. Hence, we can safely say that B is a what? It's a green belt. B is what? It's a green belt. B is a green belt that can be said in regards to that. And then provide a reason why A would most likely expand into area B. Why A would expand into area B because of what? It provide a reason why A would expand or would further encroach into what? Into B. As you can see there, the growth of A is growing towards B. What can be the reason? It can be the reason because of what? Overcrowdingness in area A. Why A can go into B is because of people will be moving out of what? Overcrowdedness. So we are saying one, uh, it can be because of what? Overcrowdedness in A. Overcrowdedness in A can cause people to go into that area B. It can also be because of what? People, when they are overcrowded in A, they would want to move out of that. It can also be lack of services in area A. Lack of services in area A can make them to go into area B. Lack of services in area A can make people to go to B, and then it is expensive to make profit in A also. That is number three. It is expensive to make sound profit, to make profits in A. Hence, they can go into B. So the land value can as well make people to go into what? Into B, because the land is cheaper also in what? In area B. Hence, people can move into that area B there. And then number four, explain the main function of B regarding the expansion of area A. That is question 1.4.4. Explain the main function of B regarding the expansion of area A. What is the main function of B regarding the expansion of area A? This can just, it is to prevent the formless expansion of cities. It prevents formless expansion of cities. That can be correct. That can also be correct to agree that it prevents formless expansion of cities, area B. And then number five, three advantages of area B. Number 1.4.5, 1.4.5, three advantages of area B. This can be that to say that it creates a pleasing environment. It creates a pleasing, a pleasing environment. We can as well say that it can also help with what is the other advantage? Three advantages of area B. We are saying it also controls greenhouse gases. As you see, we said it's a green belt, so it absorbs the carbon gases, so it controls what? Greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases. And then we can as well say that it reduces city noise. It helps to reduce city noise. It helps to reduce city noise. That is very correct. We can as well say that it helps also to reduce urban heat island, because it reduces urban heat island. I'm sure you remember that cities are always have high temperatures. So the advantage of area B is that it also reduces urban heat island, uh, which is also quite important. And then lastly, we can say that it also avoids or controls urban sprawl. It also controls urban sprawl. It controls urban sprawl. Those are some of the advantages there. Number 4, 1.4.6. Let's just quickly go to the next question. 1.4.6. 1.4.6. 1.4.6 explain how new towns can solve the problem of expanding of area A into the protected B. How cities can control, how cities can solve the problem of expanding of area A into what? Into B. How cities can avoid that. They can also help this by what? We can talk about these towns can be by having what? Having plant towns. Having plant towns. If towns are planned, hence it means there are areas of occupation or where they will be established is quite known and regulated. So having plant towns can also can be a good way, and then also supplies the necessary services that are in A. Supply all necessary services are in A. We can also say that they can also improve the infrastructure in A, and also maybe lastly we can also maybe want to say that they might also help by what? By also reduce the city problems that would also be there, such as what? Overcrowdedness and pollution. Reduce city problems or avoid city problems, e.g., for example, we are talking about what? Congestion. They have to address problems of congestion and also even what? And also pollution, to mention a few among other problems that might be there. So the city must also ensure that they solve those problems such as congestion and pollution, which would cause people to move out of A. So hence that can be a solution to solve the problem that we are referring to. The extract below is for informal settlements. 8 die of electric shock in South Africa's flooded informal settlements. Uh, I'm quite sure also refer also to our what? Refer to the notes on, refer to the channel also. Please refer to the channel. Refer to channel. Previous notes, channel previous presentations. There is a good work that is presented or done there regarding informal settlements. It is well articulated. Please refer to it as well. Refer to the channel, but we are just going to answer this question for the interest of the question paper. I'm just gonna go straight to the question. Define informal settlement. Define what is an informal settlement. An informal settlement, it is illegally built settlements by the poor who cannot afford proper housing. Illegal building of houses. It is illegal building of houses by the poor, usually who do not afford proper housing, who do not afford proper housing. So informal settlements, if you can check, most of the times class is that they are illegal buildings that are erected or built by the poor, usually as a result of saying that the land is preserved or reserved for certain reasons, but they will take the land by force because they don't afford the proper housing which is uh, given or which is provisioned through the government, municipalities, and so forth. Because they don't have money, they would just go and try to grab the land. So name the cause of people's death in the extract. From our extract here, we can actually identify that people are dying. You see, 8 die of electric shock. 8 die of electric shock is already given there before even we go anywhere far. So the death is here in this case is what? Electric shock, electrical shock, or electrocution. People are dying as a result of electrical shock. So it is one of the it is actually according to the extract that these people are dying because of that. How many people die of the identified cause? It is also given in this case. We are given and known it's 8 die. 8 people. 8 people die. How many people died there? We are saying it's what? It's eight. 8 die according to the essay, according to the context. Quote three problems informal settlements, like three problems that are also there. We are saying what are the three problems? Quote three problems informal settlements, like we are having one question 1.5.4. It can be there is problems with what? With electricity, as we can see there. There is electricity as one of the problems. There is problems with the sanitation services. We can also talk about a problem to do with what? Infrastructure. Infrastructure, which can be quite a lot of things. Roads, we can talk about roads, we can talk about water and so forth. The infrastructure is quite poor in informal settlements. It's quite bad. And then in the paragraph of what 8 lines explains sustainable measures that government can implement to improve living conditions uh, in informal settlements. Like I said, please class, please refer again to the attachment or to the previous lessons or previous presentations on the channel. The government can have to what government must do to improve living conditions in informal settlements. We can talk about one, provision of adequate services, provision of adequate services is one. Number two, the services that we are saying they are lacking there, they have to also to build low-cost housing, building of low-cost houses. We can also talk about what else? We can also talk about other sectors such as also access to emergency services, access to emergency services. We can also talk about a provision of better infrastructure, provision of better infrastructure. We can as well talk about other problem to do with relocation of people to proper house, to proper places, relocation of people. We can as well talk about any other point to do with provide them with legal ownership of land to the people living there. Uh, Provision with legal land ownership, provision of legal land ownership to people living in those places. Also, it helps them to actually ensure that they are what? They are well considered, and then they take responsibilities of the land as well. that can also be a quite good, they are quite good answers that we can give in respect to this. So what we are saying is that these are government interventions. They can as well do education and training of their people. So therefore they understand the implications of informal land and also how to live properly and avoid problems and challenges that are life threatening. Those are quite a lot of answers that we can give in that respect. Uh, Farming that okay. This is also economic geography or of South Africa. We are given that two types of farming are shown. Make the descriptions in question with the photographs A or B. Write only the letter next to the question number which are given there. So, question 2.1.1, we are given there. This is photograph A. There is also photograph B, which is farming through a tractor, and this one is farming through uh, an ox-drawn plow. So, uh, farming that produce high yields per hectare, which farming can produce high yields per hectare, you can actually say that a mechanized farming can produce more high yields per hectare there, and then associated with farming, extensive farming practice. Extensive farming practice can also be B because we are saying that the machines or the mechanization which is available, they can assist in this regard, and then products for the home and export market. For home and export market, product can also be for home and export market. We can also be export market. It means it's a big market, which can also be what international market that is produced by commercial. Farming described as a small scale farming. We can see as you can see the farmer here. The farmer there is using what is using an ox-drawn plow. So it can be A there. Farming associated with monoculture, the planting of one crop year in and out. It is done by small scale farmers also. And then six, farming that is capital intensive and uses advanced technology. I'm sure that one we cannot doubt it. There is A there. It's what is quite capital intensive and advanced technology is used. Combine harvesters, seed drills are used in that regard. Number seven, uh, number seven, farming that focuses on food security in local community. Obviously, food security in local community, it can be B. And then farming that produces a low yield per hectare, it is A. Low yields are produced per hectare in A there. We can agree as a class that these are the various options or the correct answers that can match this farming practice that we are seeing here to say that it's mechanized. And then this one, you can see also there is this farmer who is milking. There is the milking here taking place, which is manual, and then we can see here it is what it is mechanized. It is actually commercial. We can see that this is actually very, very, very peasant farming. It's quite a very small scale farming process that is taking place there. So what I'm saying is that from these answers, please note that these are the correct answers with regard to the descriptions and photographs that are given there. Choose the correct word given in bracket. Write only the words next to the question number. Uh, Dash industries covers large areas and tend to cause more air pollution. Which type of industry cover large areas and tend to cause more air pollution? Number 2.2.1, where 2.2.1 type of industries that are covers large areas and cause air pollution. We are saying these are heavy industries. I mean, heavy industries, they cover large land areas. And then a power station is an example of a dash-oriented market. A power station, it is an example of what? It is an example of based, raw material oriented or uh, raw material based industry. The location of dash industry is not determined by the location factors such as raw materials, transport, and so forth. It is a footloose industry which can be located anywhere, is not determined by location factors such as raw materials, transport, and so forth. And then dash industry can be located around the CBD. In CBD, we can only have light industries, which are such as in newspaper printing. It is a light industry which can be found in the CBD. Dash is oriented industry, generally produce low order and perishable goods. It is a market oriented. Market oriented is the one that produces market oriented. It is an industry that is also has to do with low order and perishable goods. Low order, which are bought within the vicinity, and also they can turn bad easily. That is what is taking place there. 2.2.6 uh, oriented industry are located near harbors where raw materials are imported. We are saying these are what you call bridge oriented industries are located near harbors. And then number 7, dash industries like telecommunications are not determined by any specific location requirements. These are and ubiquitous industries like telecommunication are not determined by any specific uh, locational requirements. So please, class, take note of this. This is economic geography. You can also look on it as you consider cluster central place theory. It is also in relationship to this question. So let's just move forward. Next question is refer to the infographic below about beef, which is shown there. G&R Beefmaster G&R Beefmaster is given there. Beef slaughtering per province during 2019 to 2020, and then we are given these provinces and their various percentages. Beef import quantities and value, and then commercial farmers are estimated to be that, and then we have got they employ 138 people, and also we have got 3 million people which employ also from communal areas, 9 million people also there, and then there are approximately 100 commercial food lots that are there with 5,000 employees and abattoirs such as those. So let's quickly just go to the questions and answer. Beef exports are given. Here is the quantity and there is the value. Then the exports are also there, millions in rands. Let's quickly just go to the questions. Which province had the highest percentage of beef slaughtering? Which province has got the highest percentage of beef slaughtering? We can just go to our question, to our graphs there. Beef exports, and then beef quantities, and then beef slaughtering. Which province has got the highest? We can consider here are the percentages of the various provinces. We have got 5%, 17, 19 there, 8%, 5, 9, and so forth. And we have got 21% from Mpumalanga. So in this regard, please understand that you just look at it is given. It is what? Mpumalanga province. It's Mpumalanga which is having the highest beef slaughtering. Name two major beef provision companies from the graphic there. We are given already there. We have got Beefmaster, which is given. I'm saying we have got Beefmaster. Question: we have got Beefmaster, and then we also have what the current beef. They are given in the context there. Explain the correlation between beef exports and beef imports according to the infographic there. It's meaning to say what is the relationship between beef exports and beef imports according to the infographic. If you can look at it, we are saying beef exports, and then uh, beef imports. What is happening? When we look into these graphs, what can we say? The more beef that is produced result in lower amounts of what? In lower amounts of beef imports. The low beef that is produced results in lower what? In lower amounts of beef. That is lower amounts of beef imports. That is what is happening. Beef exports. If you can see here, the beef imports, we have got this, and then as the beef, we are saying check here where imports are high, and then beef exports are also. If you can look in the graphs, the relationship between the two graphs, that is what the question wants you to understand. So in this regard, we need to understand to say, uh, question next, it is, I mean, I'm saying you need to understand that the more beef that is produced, the more beef produced, the more beef that is produced result in lower amounts of beef what imports. The more beef produced results in lower amounts of beef imports. Obviously, what is being said here is that as the country is providing or producing enough amounts of beef, therefore they cannot import beef from anywhere else because they've got the supply of beef from their country or within the country itself. Hence, there is no need to what? There is no need to import any beef. That is what is happening. Explain how beef farming causes environmental injustice. Beef farming, how does it cause environmental injustice? It results in various factors. Here, one can cause overgrazing. It causes overgrazing. It can be one factor that might arise there. What else can happen with with cows? They also we also have uh, overgrazing. It's one of the key factors. It also results in what? Uh, it also results in global warming. Results in global warming. In this case, class, what is happening is that the dung that is produced by the cattle, it also has got a lot of methane gases that can go into the atmosphere, which would result in global warming, as we are saying in this regard. It can also cause global warming. And then it also provides, we also say that it also influences the quality of water. They also affect, it also affects the quality of water. It also affects the quality of water in terms of farming. Beef farming can also affect the quality of water there, which we can also say that can also cause natural environmental degradation. Can also cause, it can also cause what? It can also cause degradation. It can also cause degradation uh, of natural vegetation. Natural vegetation can be disturbed in terms of that. It can even result in what? In soil erosion. Soil erosion, which is also a problem that can also result, which is caused because of the damaging of the vegetation or the destruction of the vegetation, which is also another problem that is quite notable in this regard. And then why can beef production be seen as an economic benefit in areas where beef is produced? Advantages of beef production, that is what the question is saying. Question next. Why is it beef? It contributes to what? It contributes, it provides employment opportunities. creation of employment, creation of employment opportunities. And then we can also talk about it can also provide food security, provide food security. Here again, it provides food security. We can also talk about other points to do with creation or earning of foreign currency, earning of foreign currency, earning of foreign currency. And then lastly, we can as well talk about, we can also talk about lastly, a point to do with additional benefits, as to say a source of wealth to the society or community, wealthy and dignity. I'm sure that in African context, we know that people or communities, they also relate the animals to what? To dignity or to wealth. So it is also a good advantage that we can as well put in that regard with respect to this one. And then we can go to the next question very fast. Extract and map of the Southwestern Cape Industrial Region and the South Bay IDZ. So uh, here is the extract. I'm just gonna quickly go to the questions for the interest of time. What is IDZ? What does IDZ stands for? IDZ is stand for Industrial Development. What? Industrial Development Zone. This is Industrial Development. Is the Industrial Development Zone. Name two alternative energy sources in South Africa, in Southwestern Cape, used to generate electricity. In this case, if you can read it through, we can identify that there is use of nuclear power. There is nuclear power here, or else there is also what? There is also wind power. And then there is nuclear and wind power that is used in this regard. Give two reasons why the IDZ has potential for economic growth. Why does it have potential for economic growth? It has got also, it has rich reserves of oil and gas. It has rich reserves of oil and gas. It also has got it is also because it's got agriculture and tourism as well as manufacturing. It has got agriculture, there is agriculture, there is also tourism and manufacturing that is also taking place there. Agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing. That we can also give as to say that there are good potential uh, production factors that can, or production practices that can help in terms of developing that the this IDZ. And then Harper, that is expanded due to availability of iron ore. There is also Harper that is expanded, that is expanded availability due to availability of iron ore. It also gives the potential for growth of the what? The South Bay IDZ. So these are just to say, you need to show the understanding of the province to say what are the economic activities that are taking place there, which can make it to be what? To be good, to have a growth in its economic functions. Number 2.2.4, 2.2.4, uh, 2.2.4 explain the main factors that hinder industrial development in the Western Cape region. The factors that can hinder development there, one, it can be because of what? Uh, Water shortages. There is problem of water shortage. Water shortage, it can hinder production there, because there's frequent or periodic droughts there. Uh, and then there is also fewer minerals. Fewer minerals. We can say fewer mineral resources. Mineral resources there. There's fewer mineral resources that are there, which can also be a problem in the area. And then electricity is also very expensive. Electricity is very expensive because I'm sure that you know that it is located far away from the core fields. Electricity is very expensive because uh the because what? Because it is located far away from the core fields. Explain two disadvantages of industrial decentralization for the core industrial regions in South Africa. Two disadvantages. The next question, two disadvantages, two disadvantages of what? Of industrial decentralization for core regions in South Africa. One, the disadvantages that are there are two advantages. So two advantages of industrial decentralization, two advantages of industrial decentralization. It also one, it causes less traffic congestion, causes less traffic congestion, it causes less traffic congestion. Two, we can also say that because of decentralization, it also reduces rural urban migration, reduces rural, it reduces rural urban migration. We also have three, we can also talk about that it also causes less pollution. It causes less pollution, which is an advantage. And then we can also talk about it also relieves pressure on infrastructure, relieves pressure on infrastructure. It relieves pressure on infrastructure. These are quite a good advantage that are there that we can talk about. And then in other ways, we can just mean to say that it prevents overutilization. It prevents the overutilization of what? Of available resources. Those are also some advantages that we can give with regards to this. It prevents overutilization of available resources, which is a good advantage in that regard. These are advantages of what? Of decentralization, as to say services and functions are found into other areas other than to be only in major cities. So the advantages are such as those that I've listed above there. 2.5 extracts below of informal sector. The informal sector, again, class referred to the notes. Also please refer to channel also. There is a question that is, or there is a presentation with regard to what? Refer to channel class, refer to the channel, refer to the channel where there is some notes which are explaining about what? About the informal sector. Refer to channel. Please refer to the channel. There is quite a good presentation that is also there, which can help you to understand these questions. Without wasting any time, I'm just going to go define the term informal sector. Define informal sector 2.5.1. It is business activities that are what? That are unregistered. Uh, this is business activities that are unregistered. We call that what? Informal sector. Who is beating heart of South Africa's inner cities? Who is the beating heart of South Africa's inner cities? Who is the beating heart of South Africa's inner cities? If we can go through this, we can identify that. We can see that there is what? There is street vendors that are all over in the city. The street vendors, they are the what? The street vendors, they are the face, they are the ones who are in the what? The city vendors are in the beating heart of the South Africa's inner city. As to say, is the street vendors. And then quote two types of products that are sold by informal workers from the extract. I'm sure that without even going further, we can know that there is always fruits these people are selling. We are seeing also there is water. I'm sure that if you are in South Africa, you see quite a lot of street corners where water is sold in cooler boxes. We also have, I'm saying the water is sold in cooler boxes there. And then we also have food where people in town, they are buying food in various corners of the thing. So if you can read through also this extract, you would find out that these are what are the main they are the main services or the main products that are being sold by the what. And don't forget, the question is saying quote quote quote. It means you must take them from the essay. You must take them from the essay specifically, and then name two factors from the extract that cause profits. Two factors from the extract that cause profits to vary. What are those factors that might cause profits to vary? One, we are saying in terms of this question, name two factors that might cause profits to vary. Question one, we have got access to electricity. Access to electricity, it can cause profits to vary. Two, what else can we say? It can be factors to do with what? It has to do with storage. The stuff is being stored. It can also be due to what? Uh, it can also be due to ablution facilities. Ablution facilities, they also cause profits to vary there. We can also talk ablution, which is the toilets and so forth. They cause this one to vary. Also, it can also because of other things to do with infrastructure, infrastructure development. And then we can as well talk about what? We can as well talk about scarcity of supposed to sell goods. Scarcity of sports to sell goods. They are limited. They are limited. The point which people can sell their goods are limited. And then lastly, in a paragraph of 8 lines, I said in this question, please don't focus on 8 lines, focus on the points. Make sure that you write as many points as you can instead of just making sure that there are 8 lines. Try to maximize your answers by what? By getting as many points as it is necessary. So the question is saying, uh, explain which challenges are faced by informal sector. There are quite a lot of challenges there. One, no sanitation facilities. Where informal sectors are operating, no sanitation facilities are available. No sanitation facilities. Two, we can as well talk about lack of storage facilities. Lack of storage facilities. Lack of storage facilities. Three, we can also talk about theft. Theft is also too high. We can also talk about long working hours with low pay. Long working hours with low pay. We can also talk about what is this? We can also talk about limited access to basic services. Limited access to basic services. Limited access to basic services. And then we can also talk about destruction of stock by adverse weather condition. Destruction of stock by bad weather. You can see sometimes we have got storms, sometimes we have got heat waves. With bad weather conditions, there are also a challenge there. We can also maybe lastly talk about harassment. Harassment is also another challenge that we have as to talk about harassment. Harassment by what? By or from what? Harassment by or from the local authorities. The local authorities, they harass people. There are also such challenges that we are talking about there. These are quite a lot of challenges. And then eventually we can also talk about pollution. If you can find, or we can agree that where people are selling informal sectors, there is always a problem to do with what? With cleanliness and hygiene. These sectors are caused as a result of what? As a result of lack of management of what? Of the of the environment and stuff, which is one other big challenge that is there. So class, thank you so much for your time, and please just keep connected such that you can be able to check and keep informed of the new lessons and posting. Thank you very much. Just share, comment, and also like the work that is being posted here for the interest of our channel to keep on growing, and have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.